You're listening to the Radio Wammo Breakfast, only on Kiwi.
What is it you say? What am I talking about? I'm talking about Wine Vault Radio with Jason Bryant from winevaulttv.com. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Wammo.
Oh, wrong one. There we go. There's your mic.
Good morning, Wammo.
I was putting you on 3. You're on 2. Go 2.
Another power outage.
Yeah,
It was
another one.
quite topical this morning.
Yeah, there was no chaos on the way here?
No. It was free flowing for me from Grayling.
Okay,
So
very good.
pretty easy. I'm not on the shore or out west
Yeah.
or up north.
Yeah.
So yeah. And but I thought I'd do it. Last week I did promise a Viognier that we were going to do, and I've changed my
You
mind.
did.
After
What have you
last
done?
night. After tasting the sister bottle to this Sandihurst Pinot Noir, which was from the Wiper, the one that I tasted. This is a Central Otago from Gibbston.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good. There we are. You can take that.
I was just going to put it in front of the... I'll put it in front of this.
It was so good
Yeah.
that I had to bring the sister one, Central Otago one, to see whether it was any good. I didn't know whether you had a corkscrew, so I've kind of taken the cork out, and it's not kind of got any cork taint on it, so which is quite good.
Gosh, this feels like it's been in the chiller.
It was obviously downstairs.
Oh, it was cold last night in
It
Auckland,
was very,
wasn't it?
very cold, yeah. And it wouldn't have been very good if you'd had your power outage last night
Yeah,
and you wanted some
some warmth.
warmth in your house. But here, this is the sound of romance.
Oh, nice. That was almost the perfect cork pop. And because so far the wines we've been tasting have all been screw tops.
Yeah, they have.
So what's Sandihurst? They're just trying to keep it old school, keep the romance of it.
I'm not sure. The only wines I've tasted from these guys have been Pinot Noir, and Pinot Noir works really well under cork. Whether they're Sauvignon and their Rieslings, I think they do, are under screw cap, I don't know. So I can only speak from the Pinot. But it's a fairly small vineyard, family owned, out of just west of Christchurch.
Yeah.
And they've got, I think it's Kirk Bray, the winemaker, and he's made wine in Germany and America, and also for some Muddy Water and quite a few places around Christchurch and the Waipara. So it's quite an exciting thing. They've just picked up, this wine has just picked up gold at the International Wine Challenge in London against a lot of other, obviously, international wines. And it's also got silver for the Royal Easter Show, which is quite a big achievement as well. So
the judges there, you trust their impressions?
I mean, it's pretty much death by committee, really, kind of right.
Because there's so many of them.
Because there's so many of them. But they all have different palates, and so you get a good cross section of society and palates there. So eventually you'll end up with some pretty good wines coming to the top. A wine should be in balance with kind of acid, fruit, oak, and most of those that are in balance tend to do really well.
I'm smelling a little bit of oak on the nose. Would I be right?
Yep, you get a bit of oak. I think it's about 35% new oak on this wine. So it's not overly oaked, but usually you get some really kind of bright cherry-type fruit from the Central Otago. And this is no different. It's just got a bit of oak. It's only 07, so it's still probably got another kind of 5 to 8 years in the bottle.
Really?
Yep.
Is it going to get better?
Yep. It's going to get much better.
Okay.
Yep. Now, apart from the oak, I do get cherry. Also, it's quite floral on the nose. It's not just one-dimensional. It's not just that oak, and it's not just that cherry. There's kind of a little bit of kind of flowery kind ofness going on there.
What sort of flowers?
Violets.
Yeah?
Yeah. Now you're just trying to...
I want you to go specific with your flowers.
See whether I'm a kind of horticulturalist or not. Violets
there's some agapantha in there. I'm kidding.
Do you know what you find in there? Draw on from your own childhood experience. I'm not very good with agapanthus, so I can't say that. Okay. They always remind me of, this is kind of fairly morbid, agapanthus and funerals.
Yeah,
That's
probably. Yeah.
What else?
And old ladies.
Yeah.
Probably. Hence the funeral.
Geez, I get a lot of primary fruit. I do get still some of that oak on the palate. Finishes quite dry.
Very dry. Mm.
But it is really, really rich and sweet fruit. And people get a bit kind of, or misunderstand that. You can have a really kind of sweet fruit, but finishes dry. The dryness is kind of like the tannic structure, and also the oak imparts some of that as well. It does finish dry. But
a bit of zing.
Zing.
Mm. I guess that's a sweetness.
Yeah, also with the racy kind of acid as well.
Acid. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I get off this.
How do you think it's doing 2 years on?
This will have been in oak for 10, 12 months. Quite often it's 10 months because then they kind of... you've got 2 months for the fermentation, and then you've got 10 months in oak, and then you need to get your barrels emptied for the next vintage.
Yeah.
So what they do is they will then put it into bottle after that, and then they will store it in bottle, and then they will release it. Now, I'm not sure when this was released. I presume kind of...
2008? No? Yeah.
But
you think maybe this year?
Maybe this year.
Okay.
May have been kind of 18 months, with 6 months in bottle before it's released. But it's doing pretty well, I think. For me, I'd kind of like score that kind of 88. I think that it's a damn good, fine example of Central Otago Pinot.
What do you think about a wine wearing its badges of honour on the label?
Personally, don't like it, but people need that recommendation. If there's no one around to kind of help them choose their wine, they really need that kind of recommendation, and whether it's a cuisine sticker or a kind of Air New Zealand sticker, International Wine Show sticker, it kind of adds a bit of kind of trust there and value added kind of ness.
It gives it some ness.
Yes, a lot of ness, trustiness.
Yes,
and I think people want that.
And where do you think the Sandihurst fits in the sort of landscape of New Zealand or Central Otago Pinot Noir?
I think it's in the top kind of 10%.
Wow, that's high. Well, where does it sit on the price scale?
I think it's about $35.
Yeah, which isn't
$35, $40, which is not extreme for Central Otago Pinot. It's kind of that middle bracket. We have seen a bit of a price drop, fortunately, because I've always kind of been complaining about it being overpriced, Central Otago Pinot.
Why the price drop?
Just the contraction of the markets overseas and the volume that they're producing nowadays.
Okay, so and the general...
They need to shift wine.
The general world economy situation over the past year as well. Is that affecting things quite a bit?
Yeah, it's affected a lot. We've seen a lot of price drops throughout the whole industry. And consumers will as well. So, but...
well, the consumers benefit, I suppose. But do they benefit in the long run? Because does that create issues back at the vineyard?
It may do for some of the smaller people that really want kind of big markets. Once all of their mortgages and everything are paid off, I think there'll be a necessary price drop anyway. I don't think that they can maintain those kind of big, heavy margins. So for the consumer, better in the long run. And for the wineries, probably better in the long run.
Because is it kind of sorting out the bloatedness of the last decade? Yeah,
because some of these big companies, they will contract naturally because they don't want their kind of profit margins to be they don't want to be spending too much and making very little. Yeah. So their markets will naturally contract, which will. And the boutique wineries will still be around because they're boutique and people want that kind of interest kind of level, providing that they're making good wine.
Plum,
yep.
I'm getting some plum out of that.
Plum, cherry, all the kind of, for me, all the red fruits.
Yeah.
Red fruits are summer. And you can actually chill Pinot Noir in a fridge.
Really?
Because room temperature in the summer is like 26, 28 degrees.
Yeah.
So if you naturally put that in the fridge for half an hour, take that back down to like 20 degrees. It's what they do in Beaujolais, with their Beaujolais, not Nouveau, but the Grand Cru, kind of get it down to normal room temperature, and makes a fantastic kind of thirst-quenching drink, really, in the summer. Red in the fridge.
Yeah.
Was under the bed at one stage.
Not with ice, though.
Oh, I have seen it done. Yeah, it's one of those stomach churning moments where you go, oh! But Yeah, I think red in the fridge rather than under the bed. That'd be my suggestion for the summer.
Red in the fridge rather than under the bed. That's a good thing. That's a good note to finish on. Just like the fine notes in this wine.
Thanks again, Wammo.
Jason, a pleasure. Go and check out winevaulttv.com and also hit him up on Twitter as well, The Wine Vault, twitter.com/The Wine Vault. Until next time, and you'll be able, of course, to find this as a video up on YouTube and the Kiwi FM website, and also on Jason's blog at The Wine Vault as well. That has been another episode of The Wine Vault Radio.